Max Verstappen wins!
Max Verstappen wins! Max Verstappen wins! Max Verstappen wins! Max Verstappen wins! Max Verstappen wins! Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix!
I'm Max Verstappen. I race for Aston Martin Rebel Racing. I am the best driver because I believe that I'm the best.
If I said Max Verstappen, nickname Supermax, is going to win the 2026 World Championship and claim his 5th world title, that's not wrong, because Max has given a positive sign. Max Verstappen described Red Bull's start to 2026 as good, following the debut of their new car and power unit at the Barcelona shakedown. He's very happy with the car and said exactly what was needed.
A Barcellona in verità era un shakedown, niente di più, niente di meno.
Però ne siete usciti carichi, Toto.
Sì, molto buoni, ma non abbiamo visto Max in la Red Bull fare giri veloce, l'abbiamo visto oggi, è totalmente diverso. La Red Bull per noi è la macchina più veloce, il motore più completo, e per quello anche la McLaren veloce, per quello tutto comincia oggi per la stagione, non in Barcellona.
Here's a question for Max Verstappen fans. Can he do it or not? Let us know in the comments. Let's find out why Supermax is going to dominate 2026. What is coming is not a rule tweak. This is a complete transformation of what a Formula One car actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about that as well with the team, and I've seen the data and already on the simulator as well. It to me, it looks pretty terrible. I mean, if you go flat out on the straight in Monza and like, I don't know what it is, like 400 or 500s before the end of the straight, you have to downshift flat out because that's faster. I think that's not the way forward. Of course, probably that's the worst, one of the worst tracks. But for me, yeah, the problem is it looks like it's going to be an ice competition. Like, so whoever has the strongest engine will have a big benefit. But I don't think that should be the intention of Formula One, because then you will start a massive development war again, and it will become quite expensive to find probably a few horsepower here and there.
The power unit balance flips dramatically. Right now, internal combustion engines produce around 750 horsepower, while electric motors add about 160. That equation reverses next year, with engine output dropping to 540 horsepower and electric motor output jumping to 470. A 50-50 split produces roughly 1,000 horsepower combined, changing everything about how these cars behave. Gone entirely is the MGUH, the complex heat recovery system that caused Honda and Renault so many headaches when the hybrid era began.
I think it actually should be the opposite. Plus, the cars probably have a lot less drag, so it will be even harder to overtake on the straight. And then I think, yeah, you have the active aerodynamics, which you can't control. They control it. Well, it will be, I don't know, the system will control it for you, which then I think makes it very awkward to drive, because I prefer to control it myself. Of course, when you're behind someone, maybe you need more front or more rear, you know, these kind of things. If the system starts to control that for you, I don't think that's the right way forward. Plus, the weight is going up again. So yeah, we have to seriously look at this, because, I mean, the 26 is not that far away. And at the moment, to me, it looks very bad from all the numbers and what I see from the data already. So it's not something I'm very excited about at the moment.
A new overtake mode grants drivers extra energy when they are within 1 second of the car ahead, and that should create better racing. 30 kilograms comes off the minimum weight, dropping to 768 kilograms. The wheelbase shrinks by 200 millimeters, while overall width drops by 100 millimeters, creating more agile machines than anything in the modern era. Active aerodynamic systems replace DRS completely. Movable flaps switch between high downforce corner mode and low drag straight mode automatically. 60 years have passed since Formula One saw a technical reset, and history tells us exactly what happens to dominant teams when the rules change this much. 13 race wins belonged to Michael Schumacher in 2004 with Ferrari. Then the regulations changed and his wins dropped to just 1. 86 points vanished as he fell from first to third in the championship. Sebastian Vettel experienced an even steeper collapse. 397 points and 13 wins defined his 2013 season. But then, the turbo hybrid era arrived. 0 wins came in 2014, alongside just 167 points, leaving him 5th. Lewis Hamilton won 8 races in 2021. Then ground effect regulations arrived, and Mercedes completely missed the concept. Severe porpoising left Hamilton reporting back pain. His entire season passed without a single win or pole position. It was his first winless campaign in 16 years of Formula One. The pattern holds every single time. Every dominant team loses its position immediately after major regulation changes. But here's where the story gets interesting. Max Verstappen has already done it once. Ground effect regulations arrived in 2022, and while Mercedes and Ferrari struggled with severe porpoising, Verstappen dominated from the start. 15 wins came alongside a 22-2 qualifying advantage over teammate Sergio Perez. But it gets even more impressive. The 2025 season proved something remarkable. Just 2 points separated Verstappen from champion Lando Norris. Despite what he described as the best driving of his career, he was 104 points behind after the Dutch Grand Prix. Then what happened? Verstappen won 6 of the final 10 races in a comeback that defied the performance gap. Nearly winning a championship in an inferior car through sheer talent matters enormously for what comes next. Technical analysts describe him as a smooth, oversteer driver who brakes early in 2 phases, creating rotation that points the car more directly earlier on exit. Former teammate Alex Albon put it simply: Verstappen's level of pointy handling sits off the scale because he likes a car that darts into corners. This adaptability, this raw speed combined with intelligence, this is what makes Supermax different from everyone else on the grid. Here is where the risk enters. Red Bull is building their first Formula One engine ever. In February 2023, Red Bull announced an 8-year partnership with Ford Motor Company. Christian Horner described it as Red Bull's biggest investment since acquiring Jaguar in 2004, with hundreds of millions of pounds committed and approximately 300 employees working on the power unit. Then complications arrived. Adrian Newey announced his departure on May 1st, 2024, leaving fully in early 2025 to join Aston Martin. The legendary aerodynamicist who designed every championship-winning Red Bull would not touch the 2026 car. Christian Horner departed in July 2025, and Helmut Marko left in December after more than 20 years. On paper, this looks like a disaster waiting to happen. But then Barcelona happened. Following the first pre-season shakedown in Barcelona in late January 2026, Max Verstappen revealed that the RB22 and its new Red Bull Ford power unit have hit the ground running with surprising reliability. Verstappen was pleasantly surprised by the engine's durability, completing 118 laps on the final day in Barcelona alone. Max himself said, "So much work has gone into this over the last few years, and then to see the engine going into the car, and especially on the first day, also immediately to do so many laps, was great to see. I think there were a lot of emotional faces in the garage." Nelson Piquet Jr., brother of Max's partner Kelly, revealed on a podcast he was surprised that people had already come this far with the new car. Max sometimes has a pessimistic view of things, but in this case he indicated that they could have already completed 100 laps. But here's the bombshell. Rivals, including Mercedes boss Toto Wolff, have already labelled the RB22 the benchmark for 2026. Even Toto admitted, "When it comes to Red Bull, I think they've done a good job." Trackside analysis indicates Red Bull has mastered a downshifting trick to recharge the battery more effectively than other teams, allowing for superior electrical power deployment. On day 1 of official testing in Bahrain on February 11th, Max Verstappen completed 136 laps, the highest of any driver. His best lap time of 1 minute 34.798 seconds was just 0.129 seconds behind Lando Norris, who topped the timesheets. But it wasn't the lap time that caught everyone's attention. It was the RB22's apparent ability to deploy more electrical power than rivals over consecutive laps.